Come on, everybody, pay attention now. If you have any desire to understand music and to understand who writes it, who conceives it, who loves it, stay on this line because we're talking to Randy Edelman. Hey, Randy, how are you?
I'm good.
He's
How
more
are
than
you?
he's a guy who can see a movie or see a talent and create something for them. How come you do this kind of work? Why? What is it in you that inspired you to say, "This is what I want to do"?
Well, you're talking about the movie work, the film
Let's
work.
go with the movies. People like
Well,
them.
yeah, no, that's a different thing. Yeah, that's a different thing. It's one of those things. I think because there's a lot of people who are composers and musicians that are great musicians and even good composers, but they don't necessarily have that kind of connection in order to be seeing something and be able to write and compose music that can support what you're seeing. So that's kind of a it's an innate kind of thing. It's great. The more uh, musical background you have it's better if you have that. But the other way around, if you don't have that feeling, you may be looking at a blank screen for 3 weeks, and unfortunately, you have to be done writing the whole score. And so, what I'm saying is, I think that's something you just feel. I can't explain it. You don't learn that. You learn the musicality of playing and orchestrating and all that kind of stuff. But as far as the way you actually look at something, and then you ask me, how do you come up with something? You kind of have to look at what the visual and that a director has put on the screen, and you need to come up with something that supports it, or come up with, by the way, nothing, because sometimes silence is better than music. But that's what that is about. It's kind of a unique feeling that people who do this kind of thing have to have. It's nothing that can be learned particularly.
So silence can be golden, but you're not going to have silence in Carnegie Hall now. That's the word that's on the street here.
The word is on. No, I'm not. That's going to be a fun night. Saturday, Friday, the 19th of December. Yes, I'm going to have some fun with that. I'm working on changing because I've been doing this quite a bit in the last couple of years where I didn't do it at all, performing. And so I'm moving things around, trying to have some fun. It's Christmas time. I'm going to do my sad Christmas song that I've never done, called End of December. I mean, it's a real downer, but then I'll come up with something that immediately changes the mood. Anyway,
You're a great show. I'll say that. I like your voice. I like the fact is that you can equal the singers that sing your songs, and he has a ton. We'll talk about it. And you're a showman. I hear you say that you never focused on your touring, let's say, but you could have. You could have.
well, yeah, but I couldn't have, because when you're writing film scores the way I was for, geez, the better part of 25 years. Uh, I don't leave this room, for fortunate enough to be doing it like that, one after another, with different genres. You can't do that. You can't go out and travel and then come back. You have to be here. And so I didn't do that, but now I'm having a little more fun with it.
When you write, I'm going to go back to the movies just for a second in the process of writing, and then we can talk what you're planning on doing in Carnegie Hall. But do you have a relationship with the writer? Because the writer of the book, the actual book, uh,
No, zero. No, no. You
zero.
have a relationship with zero, nobody, not one person. Big movie, small movie, whatever it is. No, you have a relationship with only one person in feature films, and that's the director. And he may be. They come from all. It used to be years ago, I guess. Movie directors, who were movie directors? They were people who were writers, or they were directors of a stage, plays, live theater. But now that's no longer the case. You have guys who do commercials, who made music videos, who are animators. They're different backgrounds. So you're dealing with totally different types of personalities on each a movie. But that's the only person you deal with. You don't see anybody else. You get opinions, but there's not that much time. So it's one on one. Never do you meet the actors or the writers. And by the way, you don't wanna, because you're under very limited
Yes.
time constraints,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
major. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of actors want to be directors, are being directors.
Well, yeah, yeah, and
Going
actors
that
are
way.
also producers. I do meet actors who, which is not really, to be honest with you, a good thing. And people say, "Oh, did you meet so and so?" Yeah, because they were part of the production. They put their name down as a producer. Probably they didn't pay them what they wanted, so they gave them a producer credit. But when they come around, it's not great, even though people want to know. I have a lot of stories about that. I basically just want to sit here, look at the picture, spend every single moment that I have, which is, you say, how much time? It's how much time they give you. If it's a week, it's a week. If it's a month, it's a month. And spend my time looking at it and trying to write music that complements whatever the movie is.
Before we talk a little more about what you're going to do there in Carnegie Hall, Gettysburg, Last of Mohican, Dragonheart, My Cousin Vinny, 27 Dresses,
Well,
20 dozens more, and then you wrote some songs for them, their singers.
well, yeah, yeah. Now, when you just rattled off those movies, I don't do that. I do a medley. It's an insane
Oh,
medley
I,
and that's how in other words, I don't play a whole score or anything. I do, because when I started doing this, I wanted to do something for the movies, but I couldn't figure out how I could give people to ask people to sit. It's one thing to sing a song that they may or may not know, but when you're doing movie scores, even if they know the movie, let's face it, people don't really know the score. So I put together, it's about 20 minutes, which is a long time. And I start, and it's all kind of figured out. It has dramas, period dramas, a lot of my comedies of all different kinds, children's movies. And I play this, I do one shot, and that's all I do about all these movies in this medley. And I have been surprised that people really want to know, and they do listen. So I accompany it, not by singing, but once in a while I'll talk about a director or a certain film as I'm playing the one of the themes from that movie, whichever I'm talking about.
but you're fortunate because you got about 100 of them.
Well, no, no, yeah, yeah, no, I had to narrow it down. It's not very many, but and I do the ones. Some of my favorite scores are from, of course, the movies that weren't that people didn't necessarily see. But I had to do ones that were big box office hits, of which thankfully there were plenty. And I do that because that kind of people kind of latch onto it. You can tell oh yeah, they know that movie, so they will listen a little more intently than they would if it's an unknown film.
So how about the Carpenters or Barry Manilow? Will you do some of that?
That yes, yeah, yeah, and that's a different thing.
Now
It's not.
I'm switching
Yeah,
modes here.
no, no, no.
I'm
You're
switching
no. Yes,
keys.
yes, yeah. That's good. No, that's a different art form. Writing songs. I didn't know at the beginning that I was going to write songs or score movies. I was a guy who was a pretty good pianist who had a serious background, and then you're thrown out of school, and the Vietnam War is at the end of the draft period, so you better figure out something you're going to do, and so it started out. But I started writing songs, and fortunately, to make a long story short, I did these albums because that was my only means of getting people to hear the songs. Uh, and they were done. I mean, if you wanted to know about a particular artist, it's kind of interesting. The Carpenters, that was a real needle in the haystack. They were these, a brother and sister duo who were not making records that were part of what was happening at the time in the music scene. Music business had changed, but they were making these very melodic songs, and they heard my first album that nobody heard. And Richard, the brother, really, I didn't know it at the time because I wasn't there, but he really reacted in a very positive way to the songs and to the melodies, and funnily enough, to my piano playing.
Oh,
And so not yet, that's really weird. And on that album, I wasn't going to put the song I had a funny novelty song, unlike anything else, about sort of how I learned to play the piano. And here's the Carpenters at their height, and Richard decides he's going to record that song, which I never in a million years would think. I mean, it shouldn't have even been on the album, but that connected him to me. And they not only recorded that song, and then they did others, but they asked me to be their opening act. And I didn't have an act because I had never sung before anybody, even my mother. And so that's how that started. It's crazy,
you
you
never
know.
took a shower? You never took
No,
a
no,
shower?
never sung in the shower. My voice, no one ever heard me ever until the first concert with the Carpenters, which was 15,000 people in the field house at Brigham Young University in Utah. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I like your voice a lot, because
Well, I sang the songs.
but I like your voice
Well,
because your
thank you.
voice is it's a real voice. It's a real voice. It doesn't sound like you went to opera school.
I definitely did not do that.
But you play it. This is going to play Carnegie Hall. There's opera people all around there.
Yes, yeah. So, and what has happened with this show? It's a real. It didn't start out like that, but because I've been around a while, shall we say, and been through all these different things, the show is really a biographical thing about me. And I mean, I play the first song that was on my first album, not because I want to play the first song, it's just because it fits into a certain thing. And as it goes on, and I'm doing these different things, there are periods in my life, because all my songs are, I never write a song for anybody. I write the songs for myself, from personal experiences, and that's all I ever did. I was never writing a song for Barry Manilow or Olivia Newton-John or Patti LaBelle or the Carpenters. I was just writing these songs, and I'd put them on these albums, and then one thing led to another, and all these different people seemed to connect with them. And so then I'll tell a story about the song that Barry Manilow did, which was never a song I thought anybody would record, with it was a waltz, which was you don't write waltzes in pop music anymore. It had a title that the title of it wasn't ever in the song. So it had a bridge, which all great songs used to have bridges. Now pop music has a verse and a chorus and an instrumental, and it modulates, and there's never a bridge. So it did have a bridge. It had all the things that you shouldn't have, but if the right person records it, the right version, it can happen. So that's what happened with that. And I relate, and I don't have any order. I do about over 2 hours, no intermission. And though I know the material I'm doing, I don't have I used to have all these orders that I tape up. Now I go out with absolutely in a vacuum. And I literally put my hands down and something comes out. It's not that
Well,
I decide at the last second, but I have an idea, but it may be it's snowing outside, or maybe it's a certain, and that's what happens. And so that's what I've been doing. Keep it kind of, I keep myself interested, because, if it's too much of a set program, this kind of thing can start boring not only the audience but me,
what you
and we don't want that.
No, you don't. You sure don't. What was the name of that Manilow song? Just in case people are wondering what the name
It
was.
was
I think
called
I know.
a Weekend in New
In
England.
in New England. I
Yes.
kind of thought it was. I wanted to make sure it was, and
Yes.
that's a wild thing. He started at CBS at in the mailroom. So
Yeah. And
because
I was at CBS too, April Blackwood, the music publisher. Yeah.
oh wow, all
Yeah.
right. I was in the broadcast center. He was over there. In any case, it's all good. I wish you the greatest. We'll be there, no doubt. It'll be and all my friends and people.
Yeah. Yeah. Be there.
Community.
December 19th. It's going to be a shit kicker, man. It's going to be fun.
It's always fun. Every time I've seen you, it's been a joy and a happiness. And lastly, I just want to make sure we say it because you did it and you performed it at our Peace Day activity. I want to thank you for coming to our Peace Day activities. You performed your Thanksgiving song. And since I'm going to broadcast this show, our interview now before Thanksgiving, and
Oh,
then it'll
right.
be up the whole time.
Right.
I love that Thanksgiving song.
Oh, Thanksgiving prayer. Yeah, I recorded that in London years ago. Yeah, I do too. And when I wrote it, I always remember one of my favorite people of all time in this is a guy by the name of Jose Feliciano, and he
Oh,
heard that song. Now I can't remember exactly, but it was Thanksgiving time. Okay. Now nobody. I did it for Rocket Records. That was Elton John's new personal label. And I don't know how. Well, Jose Feliciano was in town. Somehow he heard that song and he called me and said, would you come and sing this at my concert at the London Palladium or something? And I came there. We never rehearsed it, but we did it together. And I had always hoped that it fit his would do it, but I lost track of him, and the song was on the album, but no one really ever heard it. So I'm glad you're going to play it because let's see, we can get something going.
there you
Yeah,
go. All righty. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, and we're looking
great to see you.
forward. It's always nice to see you. It's a joy.
Great.
So just keep on trucking.
Okay, I will. I'll see you in December.
All right, I'll see you. No, oh, that's September, I think. No, I'll see you later, my friend. All right, bye
Okay,
bye.
thanks, bro. Bye.
Thank you, Randy.
What can I say? I can't begin to comprehend it. What can I wish for those so far? How can we mend it? We must march to the music that lifts souls from despair. Send a clear message speeding through the air. Send a thanksgiving prayer and hope that they may hear us. A thanksgiving prayer to those who can't be free. A thanksgiving prayer, one that stretches across the sea. How did it start? Why are we weak and oh so helpless? So in the dark when it's so clear we can't be silent. We must march to the music that lifts souls from despair. Send a clear message speeding through the air. Send a thanksgiving prayer and hope that they may hear us. A thanksgiving prayer to those who can't be free. A thanksgiving prayer, one that stretches across the sea. Send a thanksgiving prayer, hope that they may hear us. A thanksgiving prayer to those who can't be free. A thanksgiving prayer and hope that stretches across the sea.